Okay, here we go. This is a little bit better. All right, so let's go ahead and get this deck going. We're going to be doing the fire sign tonight. Hey, Valentina, how are you doing? So we're going to do fire signs tonight. Thank you so much, Valentina. So we're going to be doing fire signs here tonight on this particular horoscope for the 4th of July. All right, so let's just kind of do like a very general one, and I'll probably put maybe a quick love one on this as well. And as far as doing some live tarots with everybody else, I'm willing to do some free ones tonight. And of course, as always, donations are definitely welcome. It helps with the channel. Thank you so much, Valentina. That really means a lot to me, honestly. So I've been working really hard to really get into shape now, and right now I'm on my what you call it? I'm on my 4th week, going into my 5th week, as a matter of fact. And um, yeah, and so far I've lost 15 pounds up to this day, which is excellent. So so I'm moving to my 5th week next week. So I have 2 more weeks on this weight loss, and then I'm going to go into weight training, which is going to be a lot of fun too, so I can get more defined. Yeah. So, all right. So this reading is for fire signs. So let's go ahead and get this started. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like it is. And it's kind of hard too because I'm actually visiting my sister's place, and they have kids food here, right? And because the kids food, it makes it a little bit harder for me to resist certain things. But I've been working, actually, I wouldn't say I cheated a whole lot, although I did maybe have a couple morsels here and there just to kind of taste. But I didn't have full on, like, the foods that they have here, is right, that I still kept true to my diet. So working really hard on that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this party. So we're going to be doing fire signs tonight. So let's go ahead and take a look, see what we got for our fire signs. Again, this is general, and then we're going to go looking to uh, maybe a couple of see what's there for love as well. Yeah, especially with the 4th of July being the day of having barbecues and all that other jazz and stuff like that. Why is that chat being highlighted here? How do I get rid of that chat? Give me 1 second, you guys. No, I don't want to show that. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I was doing that. Okay, so tonight we are using the Mystic Monday tarot deck. This is actually a new tarot deck that's been provided, or actually been given to me as a gift. Whoa, it's a big fly. How did it get in here? Uh, this is the Mystic Mondays tarot deck that my friend Yvonne Rivas has given to me as a gift. So I really like to thank her, and her channel is the Indigo Mermaid TV. She and I actually collaborate together. So I highly recommend you checking out her channel because we do work together on that one. I mean, when we do work together, our tarot readings are, we do ask for donations. I try to keep it free, but any donations you put into my channel does help me out a lot in terms of trying to make sure that I push better quality material as well as equipment, because I'm actually trying to get new equipment for this stream right here. So the link is down below. And especially if you want to do like $1 or something like that, I have no limits here. Okay, so all right, so what can you tell me about July's fire signs? Well, we have a lot of reversals here. Now, this doesn't really mean it's a bad thing or anything. Um, I'm actually seeing some things here with our fire signs. Now, this is Sagittarius, Aries. Um, um, wow, I can't believe I'm actually drawing a blank on this right now. But let's see here. Excuse me, and sun signs. So I'm seeing here that there's something kind of drawing your energy out with these two cards here. Now, I know you're probably seeing this sideways here, but I'll go ahead and move it this way here to make it a little bit easier for you to see. So I'm seeing here these two cards that are noticed that I'm seeing here. We have the Moon and the Knight of Wands here with these two cards. This is kind of telling me something's been kind of draining your energy recently. You've actually started opening up, not really much into relationship, but just been opening up to people. Like there's some of you, I feel that's a mass majority of you, probably looking at the sun signs or like what you call it, the uh, the Leo. And I feel like that the Leos here are actually kind of opening up and being a little, trying to be a little more confident this year. And for some reason, it's been feeling a little bit draining, and I feel like maybe you haven't had that much progress. Because with you opening up and stepping out of your shell, with the Four of Cups here, you're not really, it doesn't seem like you're really attracting much, and you're kind of wondering, why is that? Why am I not attracting a lot here? And let's see here, let's see if I can try to get this into view, because on the iPad here, hi, Karen. Yeah, it will be a general read pretty soon. I'm just doing a quick fire sign horoscope, and then I'll be able to pick a couple of random people here when it comes to for this read. So, and let me know if the stream here is not looking good, if it's looking fuzzy and stuff like that. I'll be able to kind of correct that because it's off of a particular connection. So we'll see how that works. And correct. All right, great. You're an Aries, so hopefully this will work out for you. So, um, let's see here. So with your fire signs, and I think this is more primarily towards the Leos, but I think this is kind of connecting with a lot of fire signs here. Again, you are feeling pretty drained, and after even opening up, and it seems like you're not getting a lot of maybe not recognition. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of progress for some reason, right? Like for some reason you're like saying to yourself, you know what, this year's going to be different. I'm going to go ahead and start trying to make new friends. I'm going to, be the fire sign that I was born with, right? And try to be a little bit of an extrovert. Now, let's see here. Oh, we got more reversals here. Um, I'm getting the sense here that with continuing this here, that you're going to want to try to maybe just dial it back for a second, because I think that this month is probably more of a month of recuperation. I think you probably maybe the last month that you probably had a little bit of stress. It might have been financially because of the whole COVID thing. It could be something else. But with that said, your path doesn't seem to be very clear. Opportunities haven't been opening up. Like it's just been kind of stressful, and I think you've been using trying to connect with new people as almost like an outlet for yourself, right? So you need to kind of just step back a little bit and add fuel to your own fire, like inside your heart. And you need to find out, what is that wood? What is that fuel that I need in order to actually help build up the fire within me so I can actually start connecting with people? Because I think that maybe you might be trying just a little bit too hard. Okay. Um, However, I do see you here moving forward, maybe like towards the end of July. That um, if you're heeding this kind of advice right now in terms of trying to kind of recuperate some lost energy and also trying to get over some stress that you may have, um, I'm getting a lot of warmth here towards the end. I mean, if you notice this right here, that's why I love this deck so much. Look at the colors that we're seeing here. We're seeing a lot of cold here at the top, right? But as we get more towards the bottom, it's starting to get really warm here, right? And that's why I'm sorry to say this, but I fucking love this deck. That's why I like it. And hopefully this actually resonates with you. It may not do it with everybody because this is very, very general. I'm kind of doing a, kind of a generic, overview with most of you. And some of you might be able to spin this off into something that's a little bit more relatable, and that's perfectly fine. Now, I feel like towards the end of July, that you're going to definitely come into more balance. We have the Six of Pentacles here, along with the Chariot and the Seven of Wands. Now, there's going to be some difficulty here. I think that maybe you might meet somebody that might kind of break you out of your shell, as a matter of fact. And because I think that's kind of what you were trying to aim for towards the earlier side of the year, right? But towards the end of this month, like, or at least into this month, you're just like, damn, like, why is this, like, again, like what I mentioned, like, why is this not really working out? Like, I need to find a way to work on this. How can I perfect myself? But then as we get towards the end here, I feel like there's somebody here, and it could be a female presence, but it could also be a male with a more feminine approach to some of you that you may need. Because I think with the feminine approach to this, even though you're a man or a woman, that the feminine approach will kind of help hit your softer side. Because as fires, it's not just about being like super, what's the word I'm calling it, super extrovert, super confident, and things like that. I mean, the fire sign is really all about passion too. How can we be warm to other people, not just being like, I'm a lion, and I can do things, anything I can say, I can do it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. Especially with you Sagittarius people out there, you are throwing your arrows out there, but you seem to be missing the mark. And I'm looking at Lions here, the Leos, and your voice seems to be falling flat. For some of you Aries here, I see you kind of maybe tangling your horns a little bit. You've maybe hit it against some rocks, like maybe a dead end somewhere, and it just seems like that maybe you got tangled in something, like maybe something got like something tangled with your horns here, and you're just kind of like backing up, and you're like, okay, well, how do I get out of this situation? How can I overcome this, right? So I'm seeing a lot of challenges with all you fire signs. Now, there will be a moment where things will start to pick up here with this Chariot that I'm seeing here, and then the Seven of Wands, you'll be able to kind of break out of these frustrations, and you'll have your balance here. Look at this. We got Ace of Pentacles. We got the Knight of Pentacles, and the Three of Wands. So, as we start moving on into the next month, in the month of August for you, which I'll try to come up with that as well. And hey, Manishka, how you doing? So I think that at least with some of you, and it's not too important because I'm getting some cold colors here, or not cold colors, but warm mixed in with some cold. There needs to be some balance with the finances, obviously. There will be something coming along your way. I feel like it's more for the Leos with this Ace of Pentacles, that you might actually have a pretty good opportunity coming your way in terms of money. It could be a gift. It could be maybe like an approval of a loan, perhaps, and or even that a job opportunity. But I just see something coming along for the Leos. As for the Sagittarius, some of you actually might have a plan to next month in terms of how you want to. Whoa, they're firing off fireworks nearby. It freaks me out sometimes. for the Sagittarius, I feel like that you may have a plan moving forward, and I think it actually might be a good plan for you too. And for your Aries here, just keep an eye on your on your pentacles here. We have the Knight of Pentacles, right, in reverse. So keep an eye on it, but I think that you might be stable for the time being. Okay, so there's nothing you really need to do right now. Unlike the Lion and Sagittarius, there's some actions that they're going to come forward with. But for the Aries here, I feel like that things will actually be kind of like pretty cool as you start to taper into the next month. Let's see here. Hi, Sun. And looking at this here, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and move these cards up just a little bit. So we have here the Nine of Swords in reverse, along with the Ten of Cups upright and the Eight of Pentacles again. So, or at least another Pentacles, that's what I meant. And with the Nine of Swords, I feel like that there's nothing for some of you. I believe this might be heading to maybe towards like my brain's telling me at least like the Leos and the Sagittarius again. Like maybe you two were kind of worried about certain things, and it probably kept you up at night. You're trying to figure out certain things. Like I mentioned with the Sagittarius, that there's plans there. For the Leos, that there's a there's a new opportunity and stuff like that. And I think you can rest a little bit on this because it might have been keeping you up at night, along, with these Nine of Swords that we have going on here. The Ten of Cups that I have here is actually pretty decent, as we know, is in a happy household. So I think you guys can really rest assured that towards the end of July, so. And I really see a lot, and I'm getting like the theme here in terms of plans and money a lot. Not so much so with relationships, except for maybe towards the beginning of July, that maybe you might have been a little bit, dry on energy because you've been trying to kind of break out of your shell a little bit. We have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse here, so you might have been slowing down yourself on certain repetitive things, maybe even trying to learn some new things to get out of repetitiveness and trying to get into something a little bit more meaningful. And I think that's actually a pretty good approach for all of you. So let's go ahead and pull some relationship cards here to see what's going on with you towards the for the month of July. So I'm going to push these aside here. Actually, let's go ahead and put this together. Now, for this next deck that I'm using here, I'm actually going to be using the Gate Tarot, which is actually a new deck that I just got yesterday too, or the other day. This deck is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's nothing erotic. It's not hitting on any stereotypes in terms of gay culture and homosexuality. But I got it because me as being a gay man, this deck really speaks out in terms of family, love, support, like all these things. And it can definitely do, things in terms of money and all this other stuff. But this one, it seems to have like, a nice romance to it as well, and regular life. So let's go ahead and take a look a little bit into the Fire's love. Hi, Aya. So I will be doing some random readings. So as soon as I'm done with this horoscope, I'll definitely be doing a random read for somebody whoever's in the chat. So I don't see much in terms of love coming your way. I do have the Lovers card here in reverse, as well as paired here with the Eight of Wands and with this Seven of Cups here. I think you've definitely been on the lookout for some of you who are not in a relationship just yet. For those of you who are in a relationship with this, and let's try to get this more into view here. Okay, so I think that's in view now, at least some of it. There we go. I'll try to do my best here. But with, uh, okay, there we go. Sorry. So we have here the Lover's card. We also have the Eight of Wands here, as well as the Seven of Cups. Like I said, I think you've been looking for love, but I think it just has been not really ready for you this month. However, though, for some of you who do have a relationship already going, I do see here a lot of running around. As a matter of fact, I think there's some. I'm getting a sense for some type of I don't know, like the sense of running errands for some reason. Like I think you're trying to kind of impress somebody. Maybe you're already in the relationship and you're just kind of like adding some extra responsibilities because you feel like you want to in order to kind of show how you feel about this person. And I think that at least with putting this in relationship or into these other cards here, I don't think you really need to do that. I think you're kind of feeding into something that might be uh, enabling the person to kind of rely on you instead of having them be a little bit of an adult to kind of take care of their own things, right? So let's get some more like what we can do about love for those of you who don't have a relationship and you're probably looking for love, right? So let's see what we can get here. Okay, so first of all, we have the Hermit, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and we also have the Nine of Pentacles right here. Um, there's not a whole lot you can do right now. I think this is not going to be a month for you in terms of finding love right now. However, though, what you can do to kind of progress forward and kind of prepare yourself for anything that's upcoming to you, because I think moving on into the next month, I don't think anything else is going to be coming your way either. But this can definitely change depending on how you want to take care of yourself. I feel like that some of you are probably not doing the basic needs, such as you know um, I definitely see you guys' questions coming in, so stay tuned. I will definitely be able to pull a couple of free card reads for some of you, okay? But looking at this right here for you fire signs that are looking for love right now, I think some of you are actually ignoring the basics in terms of what makes you happy, because that's actually affecting the energy around you, so to speak, not allowing the opposites to attract, right? So when I say that, it's sort of like magnets. That's the kind of thing I'm thinking about here. Like the energy is not there yet in order for you to attract other people. You may be very good looking. You actually might be talking to some people, but it just seems like that the chemistry may be a little bit flatlined. That's kind of what I'm getting here. That the chemistry might be a little bit okay, but it's just that what is this little piece that I'm missing? I just can't put my thumb on it. Like everything seems to look great, but what is this thing that it's missing? And I think that missing piece is actually with you. There's a little bit of something within you they're probably not really happy about that you could probably try to fix in terms of your energy, because we have the Sun card here in reverse. We have the this Judgment card in reverse, like you're missing the signs here. The signs are there, but you haven't been paying attention to it because maybe you've been very distracted. And then, of course, we have the Nine of Wands, where you might have been like purposely ignoring certain things. And as a matter of fact, I think that one of you, and I'm thinking, and the first thing that actually popped in my head is maybe Sagittarius, that somebody came to you, maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking 2 months or 2 years, one of those two. Somebody came to you saying like, oh, do you want to go out? And you told them no. Right? Or they've kind of showed some affection to where you said no, and now you're kind of kicking yourself in the butt about it with this Knight of Wands. So you need to not punish yourself on that, right? So just kind of move forward and focus on yourself. Turn that sun around, right? Turn the sun sign around. So I think this will, I think it'll actually, oh, there you go. Perfect timing. And like I just said, like with Sagittarius, you might have been asked about love in the past, and then you probably turned it down. You might be in a relationship now too, so this might not even apply to you. But if I was to apply this to people who actually have a relationship, I said earlier that some of you might be, doing some running around for your partners. Right, and it might be draining you just a little bit. And I did mention that you are getting drained on the other read when I did the Mystic Monday. Right now, you need to kind of focus a little bit in terms of what makes you happy. Try to do something fun with your partner. Okay, with the sun sign in reverse, and I think your partner. And looking at this again as a person who is already in a relationship, look at the signs. Right, and this reading just seems to be all about signs right now, especially with this Judgment card here. The signs are there, and the partner's giving it to you, and it might have fell on flat ears because you might have just been a little bit tired. Okay, so and I've seen a lot of people asking, some questions. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this love reading here. I pulled out a Seven of Wands here. And so as my last card, and you just want to, there's a big old fly that's flying around here. Sorry. It wants to disrupt my read, and I came prepared. So we shall see. It has met its match. Okay. Sorry. I mean, some of you might be like pro-life and everything, but these flies are really gross and disgusting, and I will not have any part of it. So now let's go ahead and do some basic reads here. So this is what I'm going to require. I need your original, like your first name, your sign, like your original birth sign, and the question all in one comment, because I don't have my computer with me, so I'm not able to record, and easily look back at some of these comments. So I'm going to do a random read for the next person who can provide those 3 criterias into the chat. Okay, so go ahead and add that in there, and I'm going to do 2 full reads, or quick reads, excuse me, for the next people who did that for me in the chat. Come on by this way a little bit, because I'm reading it from this way, right? I'm just giving people an opportunity here to add their questions in. I'm going to choose from random, all right? It's not first come, first serve. It is random. And I'll be very fair about this. as much as possible, of course. All right. What do we have here? Oh, this deck is ready to go. All right, so I'm going to choose. All right, the random person I just chose right now is AG the Goat. So your first name is AG, you're a Cancer. What are Letitia's current feelings towards me? So you have about the next 30 seconds here to give me Letitia's sign here before I move on to the next one. I do need to have signs from the other person as well. So if any of you are asking for a relationship kind of read, right, I do need the other person's name and their sign as well. This kind of helps me better understand the chemistry and stuff like that. All right, perfect. Sagittarius, and you are a Cancer. All right. So water and a fire. That's really interesting. I feel like that the Sagittarius, Letitia being fire and you're being water. I think you actually. I mean, my first initial impression is almost as if like you create steam for each other, but more about you. I think you can actually bring some steam to her relationship, perhaps. I have a sense that you might have flirted just a little bit, but you're more. Although I don't think you probably talk this much, though. Maybe there's maybe a couple of instances where you probably actually said hi to each other. You talked, and then there might have been some little chemistry to where you guys probably worked a little bit together, and you're probably like, okay, yeah, I could see something going on with this, and you're definitely attracted to this person. I'm going to use my gay tarot here because this actually is really good for when it comes to relationships. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Now, two cards just popped out, so we'll just keep those right there, or three cards, as a matter of fact. Now, I know it said gay tarot is not towards you or anything. I just happen to be gay male. I actually relate to this deck very well. And this deck is really beautiful, okay? So give it an opportunity, right? Don't be like, ooh, I'm not gay. It's okay. All right? This is more for me to help me read for you, all right? So you're like, yeah, dude, like that's the wrong kind of plumbing. All right, that's all good. All right, I'm such a nerd, sorry. All right, so let's take a look here. Tell me about Letitia's feelings, the Sagittarius, for this case. Really good stuff here. So first looking at these three right here, like we're getting a lot of uprights here. However, though, one thing I need to point out though is you may need to take it slow in terms of building, the trust with her. I think that this person might have been hurt in the past a little bit because the person probably kind of wants to be single for a while, I think. Or I'm not sure exactly what your guys' relationship is. Maybe you guys are together and stuff like that. And you're just kind of curious on how she feels. But I just feel like that there's some sort of area where she needs to build some more trust to break out of this shell that she's in. Because I have the Hermit here, but looking at this top part right here, definitely being a hot conversation on her lips. You know, I think that, so first of all, we have the Ace of Cups and we have the Three of Cups right here. So that kind of tells me a little bit that she's actually been kind of talking a little bit about you. Some positive things, as a matter of fact. And we have this self-hatred one here, which also stands for, if I'm not mistaken, this is also for what you call it? The Devil card, excuse me. And I think that she might have, maybe a small little naughty streak to her a little bit. which she's willing to actually kind of put down, I think. But still, I think there's just like, I think she kind of thinks of you a little bit at first, maybe on the sexual part of things. She wanted to know maybe how sexual compatibility between the two of you. Um, and I think that's why you've been actually a hot topic in terms of like, her talking to friends or even that just by prayer to say like, hey, what's up with AG here? Like, is he really the guy for me and stuff like that? And she just has some things to think about. Now, moving forward here, we have the Eight of Wands here, and we also have the Hermit card here. So I did mention that you might need to take it slow in terms of building the trust with Letitia. Um, I feel like she has a hard time like wanting to trust certain people. And like I said, you guys may be together and stuff like that, but you still got a lot to work on for each other to really bring that connection, to a whole different level, right? Because we also have here the Two of Wands, because I feel like that she is ready to pursue a relationship. And like we have, like with this Two of Wands that we have here, you see a gentleman just kind of like looking out there, and the Two of Wands is all about looking at the portal, but you haven't really stepped through. You haven't really stepped through yet, and the path is paid for her. Okay, so what do we need to do here? What do we need to do here in order to get her to, kind of move forward, get this momentum going? Okay, so we got all these reversals here. I have the Sage of Cups, which is also known as the Page of Cups. We have the Ten of Wands in reverse, as well as the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. There's not a whole lot you can do right now. Just continue talking to her. I also feel here that you want to give her the security about friends. I think that maybe in her past relationship or like whatever she experienced from her last boyfriend, perhaps that might have tried to alienate her from her other friends and stuff like that. And you might want to not give her that idea. And I think you're probably okay with that. Like you're okay with her talking with friends. You're probably not the type of person that says, okay, you could be female friends, but I'd rather you not talk to male friends. But the thing is, I believe she does have some male friends that you might need to kind of get over your fears about that. And there's ways you can actually go about working on that too. Like for example, I think that if you were to include yourself somehow in terms of saying, hey, you got these male friends, cool, like get to know who they are on an actual friendship level, like laugh with her and joke around her, and just listen to these these stories when she talks about like these like, hey, I just went out with this with my friend Mark, for example, and don't get jealous. All right, you don't want to get jealous because I don't think she's gonna really be comfortable with that. You say, no, I'm not the type. I don't care who she friends with, and that's great. That's great. Okay, so give her that. Like I said, give her that that security, right? Give her the security that she can be friends with anybody, and that you're cool with that, right? So that's cool. Moving forward in terms of what you can do, we have Eight of Cups, Ten of Cups, which is really cool, and we have the Man of Coins, which is also known as the Knight of Coins. Okay, so you don't have to flaunt your success or anything. You don't have to, be the person to pay the bill, or if you guys happen to go out on a date, don't be all like, okay, no, I got that bill, I'll take care of it. Like, don't be like that. If she wants to actually split the bill, just be like, okay, that's cool, but at least let me pay my half on it, because I want to be able to, be fair. And I think that's what she's all about, fair. Right? Because I feel that she's kind of an independent woman. Even though I have a sense of feeling that maybe she's not completely wealthy, she has some big responsibilities. I'm not sure if it's because of other children or if it's because of family or debt, stuff like that. But she's really not like completely wealthy, but she does try to, be very giving. She believes in that you reap what you sow kind of thing, right? So, don't be the man, right? The Knight of Wands in reverse. Don't be like, I got to be man here, Therefore, the man must take care of the woman. I think she's more modern than that kind of mentality, because that's kind of, to her, that's like an old mentality. I do have here the Eight of Cups and the Ten of Cups, which I think you two can actually have a really good relationship. Um, this also tells me a little bit about you being very like fun and outgoing. I think I believe you're actually really good with jokes. Like you have to be very witty. Like you can turn a situation around, or even that, like if something was to happen, like jokes happens to be like your defense, and I think that can actually be something really good about you, because you can actually deflate a situation here, with your sense of humor, and that's what's really cool about you. It kind of adds like a happy-go-lucky um, sense of style for you, and I think that's something that she'll be able to apply to her stressful life. So I think that's really cool. Um, but yeah, so just to kind of recap this, I think she thinks you're a really cool type of person. Like we saw here at the very beginning, that you're definitely on her lips in terms of conversation, or maybe her thoughts and stuff like that. Moving forward, just be yourself, obviously, and I think you have no problem with that. You're the type of person that's just like, okay, you accept me for who I am, and that's it. And if you don't accept me for who I am, then I'm just gonna go ahead and drop you like a hot topic. But um, which is really good attitude, actually. Like if you guys are not compatible, then you're just like, okay, well, you're not compatible, then we're just gonna go ahead and go our separate ways. Like you're very realistic about that, but just take your humorism and stuff like that to a level where she can relate. Like I think if you're able to use like music as a joking response, so to speak, I think that'll actually kind of help get her interest a little bit more. Humor is her key, so I think you're really good at that. Okay, so good luck with that. And again, remember everybody that this is just a small window, like a glimpse into the future, or just certain people, right? So it's really up to you on how you want to take this information and move forward, because anything you do now or tomorrow can change the future, right? So you can take this as a way to, if it happens to be a negative reading, there's a way you can probably flip it around to make it a positive. Okay, so it's all up to you. All right, you're very welcome. All right, let's go with the next one. So I know some of you have already posted your question. If you can copy and paste your name, your sun sign, and the question all in one comment. If you're looking for a love spread, add the person's name and their sun sign along in the same comment. So please go ahead and copy and paste your question now. I'm going to choose the next random person. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my cards ready here while y'all do that for me. All right, so here we go. The next random person that I'm going to choose is Monica. Okay, Monica Ortiz. Should I, Scorpio, move on from Joel, Cancer? This sounds like a nice little soap opera. I'm just kidding. All right. So I'm going to use my Mystic Monday. Unless you prefer the Gate Tarot one, I can definitely switch to that one. Okay, just let me know right now, and I'll go ahead and do that. All right. So Monica Ortiz. I'm sorry, Sterling. I'm picking from random here because that's the best I can do right now. I'm not doing a queue at the moment. I am doing 3 other signs after this particular reading. So you want to jump into that next reading with me while I do the next one, which I believe is a water sign. Actually, I'm going to do water, air, and earth. All right. So I got 3 more videos I'm going to do where I'll be able to take some more readings from there. All right. Because I need to keep this ball rolling. So I do apologize if I don't get to everybody. I need to make sure that this momentum keeps on moving. All right, so Monica, should I, the Scorpio, move from Joel, the Cancer? So we got 2 water signs. It's a lot of water, right? A lot of emotions here. So I'm taking it that you might have had a falling out, perhaps, that maybe you have, I think that's one of the reasons why I said like a lot of emotions, because I think there might have been a maybe emotional disconnect. Maybe you guys are no longer together. But with that said, I feel like that maybe there was just like some sort of disagreement. I don't think it was really bad or anything. I'm not sure if it was cheating or something like that, but there's definitely been like a disagreement between the two of you, perhaps. And then you just want to make sure, like, hey, can I, just um, can I, like what Cher says, is there life after love? So let's do a quick yes and no on this one. So should I move on from Joel? That was loud. So evens yes, odds or no. It's an on and off thing. Oof, boy. I did not envy that at all. Odds are no, evens yes. So is that in view? Yes, it is. So I've got a 5, 10, and a 2. So I have 2 evens, 1 odd. That's a possible yes here. Looking at these cards here, with the 5 of Pentacles, let's see here. I see you not moving on, but he did. The reason why I say that is because we have here the 2 of Wands right here, which in this case, the path, like you've had many opportunities just to kind of move forward with your life, but you haven't really embraced it. He has kind of already moved forward. I feel like that he's the kind of guy that it's almost like I don't know, I'll just do whatever I want to do, right? If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like he has a kind of complacent attitude for some reason. That's kind of what I feel. That's why it's kind of paired with this 5 of Pentacles. He doesn't really look for like he can be very loving, but I don't see him being the type of person that really kind of commits, so to speak. Like he commits with the bare minimum. Man, it's so loud. Uh, yeah, when you think things are great, you're wrong. And like I said right here, because you have the 2 of Wands right here. I just feel like with him, he's just kind of complacent, when it comes to relationships, right? Like, you have big goals in terms of making big families and stuff like that, and he's sort of like, well, yeah, I'll totally like big families and stuff like that. But then, like when he agrees with you on these type of relationships or like these types of goals, he doesn't really seem to express it at that point. Like it all of a sudden just kind of falls off the edge, and you're like, "Well, what happened? I thought you said you liked a big family." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I do." It's just excuses, excuses, excuses. So I feel like that's kind of how he is in this relationship. So with this Five of Pentacles here, uh, like I said, I feel like that he's kind of complacent. So that's kind of probably one of the reasons why you want to. Yeah, he really doesn't. It's just frustrating. Yeah, and I can completely, and you deserve. I mean, it's very cliche when I say this, that you deserve better. Anybody deserves better to where you want somebody to be on the same level with you, right? So you got the Six of Swords here, the Hangman, the Five of Swords here. Getting a lot of swords here. Especially the fact that this is the 5 and 6 surrounding the Hangman, you're not going to be able to change his mind. It's not going to work like that. I think that you cornered him at one point, and when you did that, it's almost as if um, bombs are kind of falling out of the sky, and he just kind of dodged certain things, like dodging the bullet or dodging the conversation. So at that point, he's sort of like, okay, yeah, I'll totally do that. You know, I'll totally make you happy and everything like that. And he makes these promises, and you're like, oh, great, hey. And then he's like, oh, yay, hey, let's have sex. And all of a sudden you guys have makeup sex, and then all of a sudden, next day is another day, and that's all it is. It's just another day. So, yeah, I got Chariot in reverse. I got the Ace of Wands in reverse. And the Knight of Swords. So he definitely moved on. This is you right here. You are kind of looking for a needle in a haystack. I think that you are you kind of tried to kind of change him, I think, because there's something about him that you feel very attracted to. I think it's about maybe his confidence in certain things. The confidence that he puts into this relationship is probably not um, not there, or at least it's very bare minimum again. But there's just certain things that he does that you're very attracted to. Like maybe he's super strong and good looking and stuff like that, but it's just like his attitude, it's just kind of like wah, wah, in certain things, and you are trying to kind of change him, and I think he resisted that too a little bit. And the change that he actually did was actually very minute. For example, you said, "Oh well, instead of doing this, why don't you try doing this?" Like you actually were very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very comforting, and not like, okay, there's an ultimatum. You need to do this or else, right? It wasn't like that with you. Like you actually tried to add in some gamification for it. For example, like, oh yeah, if you totally take out the garbage, we're gonna have total hot sex tonight, kind of thing. Not like that extreme, but you get the idea what I'm trying to talk about. But yeah, in general, I think it's time to move forward because of these reasons, and that's personally speaking. The card's already given you 2 evens with 1 odd, and there's a possible. And the reason why I'm saying it's maybe yes, because I think he actually might come back to you and say like, okay, well, I think we should probably try to make this work. And then he'll probably say, I'm sorry, stuff like that. But the thing is, you need to be like, well, you could take 2 paths with this. One, you can be like, okay, I'm just want to be by myself right now. I'm over this bullshit. Or 2, you can be like, well, if we are going to get back together, we need to start dating again and rebuild this relationship because this is not working out. This on and off bullshit. I try to be understanding. That's understandable. But if he really wants to come back to you, right? You need to tell him sort of like, okay, we need to rebuild this relationship. One. And the other thing too is that I need time to rebuild this relationship with you. I don't want us to just start back where we left off. It needs to be brand new, right? We need to create a trusting relationship, a loving relationship, and it needs to start over. Day one, dating, living separate lives, things like that, like separate areas. Like don't move in together. It needs to be dating at least a year. If he's really committed and he really wants to get back to you, then he'll be happy to get into a dating ritual first, okay? And not have any strings attached at that as well, because you know what? You deserve other people's attention, okay? And it shouldn't have to be where he feels guilty or he just doesn't want to be by himself, so he's going to come back, right? You need someone to pursue you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Not pursuing you, saying like, oh, okay, well, I really like what we did before, and I can't seem to get anybody else, especially with COVID happening and stuff like that. No, you deserve like what's what we're looking for? You deserve attention. You deserve people to chase you down. Okay, so that's what I have for you on this reading. So let's see here. It's like I'm the only one who makes the effort, and I'm just like skeptical. Okay, yeah. See, there you go. There you have it. You try to you try to make it work. Like the Mariah Carey song, like make things happen kind of thing, right? So, but I think it's time to move forward, honestly. And if he really insists on coming back, then I think that you need to explore, keep the options open, but like subject him to dating. Like, look, it's not going to be the same. You need to date me. And you need to treat me right, okay? Because you can't just come into my life thinking like, oh yeah, we'll totally hit it off. Like, no. Okay, so with that said, I need to take a quick breather here. I'm going to restart the live stream again for the water signs, and then I'll take a couple more questions for some free tarots. And yeah, thank you very much for all of you who have who came and participated here with me right now. Stay tuned for probably the next 15 to 20 minutes while I get this break, underway, and we shall continue with this tarot adventure. Adventure is waiting. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I'll talk to you in a little bit.